Hi class, how you doing? Okay, let's call this Welcome to Module 1. And Welcome to Module 1, the first thing I want to do is I want to come over here to Learning Modules. And this is, of course, where you find your modules. So we come over here and we select Module 1. Okay, so, and what I want to show you in Module 1 is just a couple of things to look out for. Of course, I talked about in the introduction video, I talked a little bit about, the importance of atomic videos and the importance of reading textbook, et cetera, et cetera. But what I really want to do is I want to kind of go over it's kind of a three-part video here. I want to introduce you to the module, introduce you to the final project, and then kind of introduce you to the week 1 requirements. Okay, so the module, of course, I kind of talked about this in the introduction video, so nothing new here. So you've got everything that you need right here in the module. Okay, and then you've got your final project review, your discussion, creative brief. So everything is right here, kind of all in one-stop shopping, as it were, within the module. So be sure to spend some time within each module and really get to know the module before you start your work for that specific module. In Module 1, let me jump over here. I'm going to jump over here to the Module 1 overview. And what I want to do is I just kind of want to talk a little bit about what's expected in the module itself. And what we have here is, well, let's jump over here real quick. I'm going to open that guy up really quick. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's in here. Okay, so read through this. It kind of describes everything. It's got the image capture process and exactly what we're going to be doing and how, file formats, and image capture, image adjustments, etc. And a lot of this stuff I'll demonstrate to you, but it's really important that you read through everything. And I know I'm harping on that a little bit, but it really is super important, guys. There's a lot to do in the class. There's 2 finals, and the first final is a 2-part. So there's basically 3 finals, I guess. The first final has 2 parts, and then the second final is the second final. So 2 finals, 3 parts. So it's really important to get yourself accustomed to exactly what is going to be expected for those finals. And you can read that right here, final course project. And then, so let me get back out of here, and let's continue through with the module itself. Final project review, really super important to do, to let you go through that. And I'm going to talk about that right now. Let's go ahead and start talking about the final project. And to do so, I'm going to go to the announcements area. And what I would like to do here is in the announcements area, say, okay, so this is Welcome to Module 1, right? And this is where this video will be housed, will be located. And these videos will be located within the Welcome module each week. So be sure to look for those, very important. Textbook right here. That's a good one, guys. Good textbook, really good textbook. It's a lot of fun too. It's not really drab like a textbook. It's laid out beautifully and it's really neat. It's a lot of fun to follow the assignments. And so be sure that you get yourself linked up with that textbook so that you can expeditiously follow through the required reading each week. Okay, so I want to start with saying, okay, let's get ourselves familiar with the final project, okay? Then we can start looking at the individual modules and we can start looking at the individual tasks for each module. So what I have here is the 2 final projects. Okay, here's Final Project 1 and Final Project 2. So let me just open up Final Project 1. And let's open that in a new window and let's see what we have in store here. Final Project 1 is interesting because we're going to be creating a magazine ad and a web banner ad. Okay, I'm not going to read through this specifically, but I do want to draw your attention to something, okay? In the final project, we'll be designing both a print ad and a magazine and web banner, promoting an event or new product rollout for a specific client, okay? Now, if we go over to the module overview and let me just do this real quick. I want to get to that module overview because I want to show you something. Okay, come on, computer. Now you guys get to, that's what I want to show you, how slow my computer really is. Okay, module overview. Let me spin that guy open right there, module 1. So we have the module overview right here. So we looked at that briefly in the introduction video, but I want to take a closer look at this because right here it says final project. Okay, final project for this course is an example of a design project you might work once. This is basically saying that this is very typical of a professional setting in that you might be using in your real work as a professional designer. It goes on to say you will choose a client from 2 possibilities. The client developed in COM 230. So those of you guys have this prerequisite for this class, so you should have taken COM 230. Okay, in that class you will have developed a client. Now, you can use that client or you can use this client, Amethyst Bay Resort and Spa. Once you choose the client, you'll create 2 design pieces that are part of the same campaign. The first is a print magazine ad. The second will be a web banner. Okay, now, why did I bring that up? I brought that up for this reason. We go back to my introduction here. I'm saying this. Okay, right here, I encourage you to use Amethyst Bay as opposed to you don't have to. You can use either one you want. But my reasoning, hear me out, my reasoning for encouraging you to choose Amethyst Bay is twofold. Number one is it's going to give you an additional portfolio piece. Again, I want to stress it is not required to use Amethyst Bay. Please, you use whatever you want. You can use your COM 230 if you feel passionate about that. And again, the reason I'm suggesting is because Amethyst Bay will give you another portfolio piece, another tangible piece for your portfolio. And also, the Amethyst Bay already has a style guide associated with it. And the style guide is complete. I'll show you that in a second. But it's got a logo, it's got colors, it's got type, it's got all your style guide requirements listed right there. So it's really nice not to have to worry about that stuff while you're working on your web ad. I'm sorry, your magazine ad and your web banners. Okay, so that's really important. Plus, I guess this is the third reason, is because if everybody's working on the same project, I think it's really cool because, I do like to give a lot of video feedback and a lot of video critiques. So therefore, the critiques I give to your classmates that are using Amethyst Bay will be applicable to your work as well. Okay, so that's pretty important. So I want to jump over here and say, let's take a look. I want to show you something right here. The Amethyst Bay Style Guide is located right here in Final Project Part 1, Guidelines and Rubrics. Let's just open that guy up real quick. I'll show you where it's at so you can take a look at it when you're deciding which client you want to use for your work. So right over here is this alternate client scenario. Basically it's saying Amethyst Bay is a resort to St. Thomas, a new resort. Amethyst Bay is looking for a way to reach out. Use the alternative client scenario reference below. Let's open that guy up. I'm going to open the style guide up so you can see what we have. Here it is. I don't know why that just happened, but that was weird. But anyways, here's the style guide. And basically what you can do here is you come down here and you can open this style guide. It's a PDF, but you can open it in Illustrator and you can select these and use them right in your work. So they're complete. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different versions. So it's very versatile. 5 different versions of logos you can use in your ad and your banner. It's got your primary, secondary colors associated with the ads, and it's got your required headline, body copy, subheads, and type requirements. Okay, enough of that. Let's get out of there. Okay, that's back to that overview. So let's get out of there and let's get out of there. And okay, back to the announcement that we had started in. Okay, so that is something I think is really important for you to consider. All right, with that, I'm at 8 minutes. I don't want to go over 10, so let's go back to Module 1. I want to show you a couple things in Module 1. So we go back here. Let's go to Module 1, open up link in a new window so we'll get to Module 1. And just want to show you what I told you this is a 3-part video. So this is Part 3, and this is Module 1 assignments. So after going through the final project requirements, here's the final project review. That's basically saying do what we just did, but please do it again and do it very, very thoroughly so you know what we're looking for. So, and then you have your discussion, your creative brief, and then your image capture processing using adjustment layers. Now the creative brief, let's open that guy up and let's see what that's a discussion. Now in the announcements area, I have included for your convenience, I have included in the undergrad discussion board rubric. Okay, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. Now, in the discussion board itself, here I want to draw your attention to 2 things. Number 1 is the general questions area. Please post any questions here that are specific to the class. This is a public forum, so nothing personal here. Any pertinent information that's personal in nature, please email me or call me or something like that. But this is a public forum, so please be careful. But I would recommend and require that you put all your questions pertaining to the class in this area because there's a good chance that other students will be looking in this area and will have the same questions. Okay, and then here's your creative brief. This is your discussion number 1, 1.2-2. This is your Module 1 discussion. So please go through that. And basically, it's asking you to give us your plan, your creative brief on your client and how you plan on approaching the assignment. Okay, so then we have back to module 1. Okay, I'm over 10 minutes. I didn't want to do that. Okay, back to module 1. Okay, so, oh, right here, image capture process using adjustment layers. And I'm probably going to do a little separate video on that, but basically, this is what you're after right here. Select from the web 2 high-res 300 ppi full-color images that you feel would be, and this is important, 300 ppi. I've got to use high-resolution images in this assignment, guys, well, specifically the print portion of this assignment. But full-color images you feel would be a good selection for your ad designs. Use adjustment layers to color correct casts and make other adjustments. I'm going to do a separate video. I'm going to show you a couple of really cool techniques for doing color adjustments. I would recommend you do a color adjustment and a tonal adjustment, but not more than one color adjustment, not more than one tonal adjustment. And I'll go through that in a second. But at any rate, okay, so that is welcome to Module 1. And if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, or other open door policy, guys, I'm right here. All right, everybody, thanks. I'll see you in class.